Hello, and welcome to Your Money 2.0. I'm Tom Fox, Community Outreach Director with Cambridge Credit Counseling. With everything that's going on in the American economy, you might imagine that the administration would use this opportunity to remind us how important it is to save money. Well, you'd be wrong. Because 70% of our economy is based on consumer spending, the government can't afford to have us all suddenly cut our spending to the bone and put every extra dollar in the bank. Why? Because all the elaborate plans to get our economy moving again are based on a certain level of spending. To be honest, Americans are not good savers. In fact, a report on the savings rates of industrialized countries places only the UK behind us and most every other nation in front. For example, China's savings rate is a whopping 50%, and Japan's is 30%. At the time of the study, we were only at a half of 1%. However, the recession has changed everything. Since this crisis started, Americans have begun saving, currently just under 5% of their earnings. In fact, for the first time in more than a decade, we've saved more than 4% for 2 consecutive months. While this is less than they're saving in other countries, it's still a move in the right direction. Some experts have predicted that the American savings rate could go as high as 10% this year. But is that good or bad? Well, we know that many Americans simply aren't prepared for emergencies. In light of this fact, a rising savings rate is very encouraging. On the flip side, an increasing savings rate can also lead to a decline in spending, which would delay or prevent economic recovery. Such a dilemma is called a paradox of thrift. When times are tight, we save instead of spend. The issue economists have with this response is if we don't spend, we're not buying the goods and services that keep people employed, increasing the likelihood that more people may lose their jobs. When people hear about those layoffs, they'll try to save more money, and the cycle repeats. What should we do? The answer is different for all of us. If you have no emergency fund, 6 months to a year of expenses saved, you need to focus on setting that amount aside in savings. On the other hand, if you have a sufficient emergency fund, job security, and a budget to back you up, you can spend money more comfortably. In the end, you must focus on what's best for you and your family. Well, that's it for this edition. We welcome your feedback and ask for your thoughts and suggestions by emailing us at yourmoney2@cambridgecredit.org. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm Tom Fox for Cambridge Credit Counseling.